At Tel Aviv University and a fellow at the Jerusalem Institute for Strategy and Security. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're also joined by security analyst Jonathan Regev. Hi there, Jonathan. All right, well, I'll start with you, Dr. Navon. So massive diplomatic pressure today on Israel, mainly coming from Europe. How should Israel respond?
Well, I think the way we should respond is that Israel did not volunteer for that war. Israel did not start that war, and the war is not over. I think the objectives of the government of Israel since the beginning of the war haven't changed: to eliminate the threat of Hamas and to bring back the hostages. The moment Hamas turns back the hostages and disarms, the war will be over. So I think what we have to ask our partners in Europe and elsewhere is, what do you suggest in order for us to recover our hostages and to make sure that Hamas is disarmed and does not represent a threat again to Israel? This has to be the message. And also, of course, that Israel, despite what was said, for example, by the French foreign minister, which was quoted in your report, is that Israel, in fact, does conduct a war in accordance to the rules of international law. If there are claims, then they should submit them to Israel. But Israel, in fact, does respect international law and does undertake all those operations after being reviewed by legal experts from the IDF. So I think these are the two messages that we have to convey.
France is going a step further, arguably, and says that it wants to recognize a Palestinian state, and it's holding a conference with Saudi Arabia in the United States next month. I mean, how does this reflect what is going on politically in France and also in the UK, do you think?
When it comes to France, for example, first of all, it is an initiative of the French president and not of the European Union. Many European countries do not follow the French lead. There are many countries in Eastern Europe, but also major countries such as Germany and Italy that do not agree with Emmanuel Macron on this move. And I think where Macron is making a mistake is that in his mind, the source of the conflict and of the problem is the absence of a Palestinian state. And the moment you establish such a state, everything will fall apart and the conflict will end. And that's where he's mistaken. And I think the context also and the timing of recognizing such a state after October 7 and not before actually sends a message to Hamas, which is that you did October 7, and as a result, there will be a recognition of a Palestinian state. So that's a reward. And I think he's wrong in his analysis, and he will, in fact, bring more instability, invite more violence, instead of his declared objective of bringing more stability in the region.
And, of course, what Israel really pays attention to is what is said in the United States. What do you make of those that reporting on Axios about President Trump potentially being having had enough of the war in Gaza? So
the fact is that until now, President Trump not only has lifted all the restrictions on U.S. arms exports to Israel, but also has given Israel a free hand to end the war. So I think we should focus on what the U.S. president has done so far, and not rumors about statements behind the door or behind the scenes. So far, as far as we know, President Trump has enabled Israel to conduct the war until its victory, and as I said, has lifted the restrictions that were in place under the previous administration.
Jonathan,